It's Friday, the 28th of September. I'm Olivia, and today on MoBuzz we're talking Twitter, caller privacy, and dogs on death row. The guys at Mashable have reported on the recent developments of Twitter, a new mashup of Twitter and video sharing site vSocial, charmingly called Twidio. The idea is that the spin-off of Twitter, which could be running as soon as next week, will allow users to show people what they are up to via photos and webcams. Mashable have tested the new concept, but for some reason haven't commented on it. And as here at MoBuzz we haven't seen it yet, we can't really give our opinion. But a couple of hardcore Twitterers have expressed concerns that the application may be sacrificing the very thing that makes it so popular: its simplicity. It's logical that the company wants to expand and build on their success, but you have to ask whether trying to compete with more complex sites like Utters is a good idea. Either way, we look forward to seeing it in action. Now for something a little, well, unnecessary, I think. The bright sparks behind dogsindanger.com have created a website that aims to tug at those heartstrings and get people to adopt abandoned dogs. And the best method for convincing someone to rehome a pooch? Publicise the exact amount of time left before that dog is killed if a new owner isn't found. Oh, and they keep you up to date with exactly how many dogs have been exterminated during your visit to the site, which is nice. Now, call me unfeeling, but I think this is just a little silly. Why should you have to resort to shock tactics to persuade someone to rescue a dog? If someone is interested in becoming a dog owner, then they are perfectly capable of making that decision themselves. Surely trying to convince people to rehome a dog will just result in the dog being abandoned again when the owner discovers that they actually didn't want it in the first place. They just didn't want little Fido to be sent to the big dog kennel in the sky. A spokesperson for the site said, and I quote, "We're saying these pets are going to die. It's not a happy sight with puppies running around." No kidding. For all the eco-friendly amongst you, listen up. We've been using LED lights for ages in things like torches, but they've yet to be transferred to everyday use in the home. Until now. With the newly developed white LED lights, you'll soon be able to light up your homes and offices with these small, power-saving and mega long-lasting bulbs. They're not available yet, as the eco-scientists are still working on the final details of the bulb that contains the toxic substance cadmium, though they say it's such a small amount it's totally harmless. Well, we'll see just how harmless when we've been standing underneath them for 50 years. Voice over IP calls. Okay, not new, but interesting stuff all the same. We found an article on telecomtv.com about the privacy issues behind the VoIP phenomenon. It mentions two new ad-supported companies, AdCalls and the intriguingly named The Pudding, that disrupt every call you make with adverts. Cherry-picked audio-visual adverts generated from a listening software engine, I might add. Pudding Media give an example. If you're having a conversation about a visit to the cinema, their software automatically suggests local cinemas and showtimes. Very helpful. They're also apparently offering the software as an ASP so that any communications provider can generate adverts. A little too invasive, perhaps? One blogger likened it to Google scanning your Gmail messages for keywords and then sending you targeted adverts. Pudding are pretty honest about how and what customer information is collected, saying that their software never actually reveals a user's identity. It just detects general interests and delivers targeted information accordingly. What do you think? Would you put up with a stream of adverts during your phone call, just so you wouldn't have to pay for it? And just to prove that we do read your comments and answer them, user Tyler Sparks posted a comment asking about the origins of the Starbucks logo. Well, the logo originates from a 15th century drawing of a twin-tailed mermaid and is a reference to the seafarers of days gone by. Seeing as Starbucks itself is taken from the name of the first mate in the classic novel Moby Dick. The original version of the logo was a little more racy, but as the company expanded, it was obviously considered more appropriate to cover up the rude bits with some long flowing hair. So now you know. Well, just because it would be wrong to end the week without mentioning Halo 3 at least once more, should you forget its existence, it has broken the US sales record by taking an estimated $170 million in its first 24 hours. Mr. Gates will be pleased. And finally, the BBC Trust has approved the corporation's plans to launch a high-definition TV channel, but it's asking viewers to choose whether they want the new technology now, available on Freeview, or in a few years' time. If they opt for the channel now, British viewers would have to buy a new set-top box, as the current version isn't equipped to carry high definition. If they choose to wait, then most people will have already purchased an updated Freeview box, which will be able to showcase all HD programs. The cost of the channel has been revealed as a total of £21 million by 2012. This follows Channel 4's announcement last week that it'll launch a high-definition service on Sky later this year. And if the Beeb need any help advertising the new channel, they should consider enlisting the help of Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer, probably the most persuasive salesman in the world. Have a great weekend.
How much did you guess? 500? 1,000? Even more? No, it's just $99! That's right! It's $99! It's an incredible value, but it's true! It's Windows from Microsoft! Order today! P.O. Box 286 DOS, except in Nebraska!